Hello, and welcome to the fourth round of the LOA Endurance Championship. My name is Josh. I'll be co-hosting your commentary for the evening, and I've got Philip Fox in the booth with me. Say hello, Phil.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be back.
Yes, we thoroughly enjoyed our commentary at Monza, and we're back for another round at Watkins Glen. Going right into our existing championship standings going into the round here, we've got Lucas Cipula, Josh Martinez, and Maren Hugevin leading the top three of this championship. Ali Ettridge not far behind. This championship's been really tight. It's been really close. We've had three different winners over the first three rounds, possibly a fourth different winner today. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching this. What are your thoughts on this one, Phil?
Yeah, it's been a great season so far. Definitely interesting with the weather last race. So far, seems to be nice and clear here. We hopefully it holds that way. Looking forward to a great race.
Yeah, and down in the middle part of this field, also tight. I saw a few guys there tied on like 18 points, not far off some guys with 20. Here's our silver championship. We've got Carl Hudson out front with actually a decent gap there. Not something that's unclosable by Tim and Slutes, but Carl's up there. He's leading that one, doing a good job. His teammate Danny Chan in third, not far behind him. And then here our bronze. This is our tightest championship in the field. Obviously, as you can see, tied 33 points between Steve Pepper and Sam Stott. That's going to be something to watch in this round because only one of those guys can come out on top.
Absolutely, and I mean, even down in third and fourth place, only a few points separate these guys. It is a very close championship.
Yeah, Peter McIntyre also could leave this round on top. He's only a few points behind in third place. Our team standings there, maybe a small error. Looks like everybody was on 0 points. We're starting over, fellas. Sorry, you lost your points. We're gonna do this again. No, just kidding. I think that's just a little error in our graphic, but that's all right. Looking at our starting grid here, as we pull away on the back of the safety car. This is a cool shot. I like this shot. This should be every formation lap should be a shot like this. This is really cool. But our grid, we've got Matt Hansel and Joshua Martinez, teammates, locking out the front row. That's going to be exciting for this race.
And following them, we got Ali Ettridge and Dan Shaw, who I believe is first race of the season here.
Yeah, Dan, I believe that is his first race of the season. He's joined us in the BMW, so we'll see what he can do. Maybe he can challenge. I saw Maren there a little bit outside of his normal grid positioning. He's usually a bit further up, challenging Ali and Martinez. And Sam Stott, I'm noticing here, leader of the bronze class. He's also one of the leaders in the championship, tied for 33 points. So Sam putting himself in that position to come out of this race as the sole leader of that championship.
Yeah, absolutely. But the rest of his field all bunched up right behind him. So it'll be interesting to see how this starts out.
Yes, definitely. I'm excited about this one. Watkins Glen, a personal favorite of mine. I would even venture to say my favorite racing circuit on American soil. So I was pumped for this race, and I am pumped to watch it back and commentate with you.
Absolutely. Great track in beautiful upstate New York. What I'm noticing here is some car changes. I know we got a new tire model. Some people have swapped out, so it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. People driving some different cars. This is the first race, so we really don't know how some of these cars are going to perform.
Yeah, how can we not mention our guy on pole position here, Matt Hansel, switching from the Audi, who his teammate has remained in the Audi, but Matt has switched to the Mercedes along at the same time as the tire model update that you've mentioned. So Matt on a new tire in a new car, and it seems to have worked out for him. He's gone straight to pole position.
Yeah. He's looking good in the Mercedes. I did a little testing in the Mercedes. It's an interesting drive. I think it's a good car. I'd like to see how he does in this race.
Yeah, personally, I don't think I've driven the Mercedes in probably over a year. So I have no direct feedback on that car, but Matt seems to be enjoying it. I know one of Matt's other teammates, Danny, has also switched cars, but he's in the BMW. He also was in the Audi, so it seems like some of the guys in that Revolution e-racing team are running away from the Audi, except Martinez, who won the championship last year in that car, and he's not switching from it. That's his car, that's his go-to. As our grid comes around the last corner here, our safety car is going in, and we're waiting on the green flag to drop. And there it is, we're away. Martinez covering the inside over Ollie Ettridge early there, going into turn 1, not wanting to give Ollie the inside. Maybe playing a little bit of a gap here for his teammate. Obviously not wanting to challenge Matt into turn 1 and cause an incident between teammates there. We've got Blake Tovey back in his McDonald's McLaren. Remember that from our Monza race commentary. McDonald's, we're still open for sponsorships. We haven't heard from your PR team, but we are still available if you're interested.
I'd even settle for some free hash browns.
Yes, free hash browns. A lot of cars funneling into the bus stop chicane for the first time. We got one car backwards in the back. I could not tell who that was. Looks like, who's dropping down the order here? I don't see anybody falling down the list. I don't know who that. Maybe that was James Pepper. He's at the back of the field. We'll catch up back to that. But there's one car off. Honestly, only one car off through the bus stop in the first lap is pretty good, if I'm being honest. That's a very sketchy moment on these cold tires.
Yeah. This new tire model is a little unforgiving on the cold tires. I've noticed it's taken a few more laps to get them warmed up than the old tire model.
Yes, definitely. A solid 2 to 3 laps here as we've got David Ward and Danny Chan. Looked like a little bit of a contact there. Danny Chan going kind of slow. And looking at our track map, that was James Pepper that was off earlier. He is a bit off the back of the field. And we've got a car spun. Who is that? Oh, Russell Bright involved in that. Couldn't tell who the other cars were. Danny Chan again, possibly. He's fallen down the order. So we're finishing.
But Joshua Martinez in the pits.
Oh, there must have been an incident that we did not see on the broadcast there. That was our second place car in the pits now. So he's had an incident, obviously taken damage. Otherwise, why would he tow or drive into the pits at the end of the first lap? Danny Chan also in the pit lane. So for Martinez, that goes from being with your teammate at the front of the grid, first and second, to being with your teammate at the back of the grid, being first and second to last. Not a good start for Martinez in this race.
Not a great start, but what a teammate joining your teammate in the pit.
Yeah, team players. We had another car there spinning out of control. Looked like they kept it out of the wall, though. Possibly Zhao Tomei, I believe that was. He's fallen a couple positions in our standings. These guys pushing all the way out to the edge of the track there. Love to see it. Marin, is he going to make a move on the inside? No, he's funneling in line. Oh, contact, actually. Marin making contact with Isaac Mitchell. Bumping right into the back of him under brakes there in the braking zone. That's the stewards are probably not going to like that one.
No, it's I wonder how much of it is this new tire model. Everybody's starting to push where they would normally push, and we're seeing a fair amount of incidents early. It's not like the field. Everybody's pretty clean. Wonder how much that has to do with the new tire model.
Yeah, this is the first race with the new tires, and I'm sure a little bit of nerves getting to some of the drivers here. Not wanting to, it's a balance, right? Not wanting to push too early and risk a spin out or crash, but also you do have to do some level of pushing, right? Or the guys behind you are going to push and get around you. So it's not like you can just take it easy. You've got to be on it, but you've got to be on it carefully. We come into exiting the bus stop here, and we're watching Stephen Greening, who is chasing down. Who's he chasing down here? My graphics were showing two different people there. We see Blake Tovey, see Blake, Claymore, Stephen Greening. So he's followed. Okay, I see Stephen chasing Claymore, followed by Carl Hudson. That's what we're seeing here.
I'm glad you found it. I was searching the graphics and I could not figure it out.
Well, it was I think what was throwing me off is Steven's name just says Steven, not Greening, and so it was. I know there's other Stevens in the field, so it didn't jump out at me that was Stephen Greening. That's my fault for not realizing that. But yeah, we've got Claymore in a Mercedes chasing down Blake Tovey. We got a little pack here for what position is this going to be? Starting from Stephen Hurd and going backwards, so we're battling for 5th here. Back to Carl and Stephen Maxwell. So we got 5th through 10th here, all within a shot of getting just into the top 5, but all within the top 10. That's good.
Yeah, and out front we got Matt Hansel still leading with just under a 3-second gap to Ollie Ettridge.
Yeah, Ollie quick here. He was quick here last year, I believe. Came in 2nd place, if I remember correctly, 2nd or 3rd, with Oliver Walker actually winning that race in a Lamborghini last year. And you know what? Martinez also crashed out on the first lap of Watkins Glen race last year as well. So not having a good time here in upstate New York.
No, and a track I know he loves.
Still watching this battle for 5th here. Blake Tovey doing a little blinking in and out there. Hopefully his connection settles in and he doesn't get booted from the server. That's a tough way to go. I have been there. I have been booted from servers running in the top 3. And it's not fun, let me tell you.
No, it's not. We got Danny Chan and Joshua Martinez both out of the pits and back on track, and now we have James Pepper and John Cook in the pits.
Wonder if there's been another incident for James, or if he just had damage on that spin that we saw early in the race on lap 1. And curious what happened to John Cook there. He's actually gone a lap down on the graphic here. I wonder if he is out or just in the pits. James Pepper is showing out. James may possibly have given up, but we'll check back in on that. Got some guys racing down here going into the bus stop. Who's going to win out? Blake Tovey really wanting to get his car on the inside there, but having to stay behind the Mercedes. Got a Lamborghini here, the Lamborghini of Lee Harding, I believe. Being chased by Zhao Tomei and Gavin Kelly. And we catch up towards the front of the field here. We've got Ollie Ettridge followed by Dan Shaw. These guys heading into or exiting the boot, the lovely boot of Watkins Glen, as it is known. The heel and the toe. It does look like a boot. And as someone from the boot state in the U.S., Louisiana, I know all about boots, apparently. There's our teammates, Martinez and Danny Chan. Maybe just playing a little follow the leader. Well, follow the back of the pack to try and catch back up to the field. A little slipstream.
Yeah, it looks like they are quite a ways behind the main pack, and they've got some work to do to catch back up to the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately going out on the first lap, they're not going to be able to use the pit stops. The car going slow back there, I didn't catch who that was. But I was saying they're not going to be able to use the pit stop to leapfrog themselves back into the pack, right? Because they still have to stop again just like everybody else. Sometimes when you have a small incident, we watch a move side by side through the bus stop. Who's going to win out? Going to be Chris Forrester staying in front of Neil Todd with Steve Pepper right behind these guys. Steve Pepper may be looking to capitalize on a mistake if he sees one in front of him. But I was saying, if you have an accident, maybe a few laps into the race, you can come in, get your car repaired, and you can use that as your pit stop, right? And then you don't have to pit again. So when other cars start to pit, you will eventually catch back up to the pack and you won't lose as much time. But when you have one in the first just handful of laps of the race, you still have to pit again. You don't get to use that to make up your disadvantage. It's a great battle here.
Yeah, Neil Todd got ahead of Chris Forrester.
That'll be important for Neil in the bronze championship. Neil, I believe, in 4th or 5th place. So those are valuable points that he'll be gaining there by getting in front of Chris Forrester. Neil looking good in that McLaren with that Lambo right behind him.
I've noticed an error in the graphic here. Matt Hansel showing silver, but I believe he is a gold driver.
Yeah, Matt Hansel definitely a gold driver. Maybe just a mistype somewhere in the classifications, and Matt goes to silver. The car went off there, cutting right through the chicane. That's Steve Pepper, I believe it was. Steve, who is, as we saw, was tied for first in the bronze class, falling back a couple positions. That's going to be points that he does not want to lose, so he may be looking to get those points back really quickly. And he is, as he looks up the inside of the BMW in front of him. And it looks like he's got the move done, or if not fully done, he'll get it done on the inside of this next corner here. That's it, move done there for the Cool Camel, Steve Pepper.
Some good driving by him. Stayed focused, battled back, and he's gaining his positions back.
Yeah, this is some good driving here in this midfield, battling for 24th place. Good driving from these guys, keeping it clean. And as I say that, we have a car that bumps the wall, the exit. So easy to do there. So easy to get a little greedy on the throttle coming out of that last corner, and car just drifts out and taps that wall. I've done it a bunch of times. I'm sure you have as well.
I think my entire livery has been spread across that wall at one point or another.
As we see a move there going into the bus stop, the McLaren just having to back out of that one, not wanting to go side by side. And we're back to this battle again with Chris Forrester leading this pack now into the bus stop. A little side by side driving here between these two McLarens, Neil Todd and Pete McIntyre. And all of our headlights have come on, so we have gone past dusk into darkness, and headlights are on, and we're headed into night for this race. So just going to get darker and darker from here. I also noticed on the forecast that we were forecast for a, albeit small, but a chance nonetheless of rain. So will we see that? We don't know, right? We will find out. Could come into play? Could that bring Danny Chan and Josh Martinez back into this race if we get some sprinkles of rain here at Watkins Glen?
Absolutely, but for now, we'll enjoy the nice, cool weather that's bringing. The track temps are not bad. It's allowing for some good close racing.
Yeah, I'm sure allowing a lot of these guys to feel real confident on the tires. Oh, good save there. A little small spin out, but not quite all the way around. Good save by the driver of that BMW.
I believe that was James Renwick.
Is that another position for James Pepper to make back up? Maybe he was already in front of Renwick there, but he was in that group. Carl Hudson in the middle of a fight with several gold drivers here. Blake Tovey in front, David Ward behind him, also Lucas in there, and Stephen Maxwell. Stephen Maxwell now promoted with Martinez going out on lap 1. Stephen Maxwell now promoted to the lead Audi driver in this race. We should give trophies to lead Audi driver of every race. That's my opinion. And it's not biased at all. That's just my complete unbiased opinion.
I think we've had an accident. Was not on camera for us to see, but I've noticed Sam Stott just dropped about 10 positions. He was leading the bronze, and he is now near the bottom of the bronze pack.
That is your two bronze championship leaders at the bottom of the bronze pack there, right? Sam Stott and Steve Pepper. So Sam going from leading and potentially walking out of this race with the lead of the bronze championship, and now he's going to be battling Steve Pepper for every point just between the two of them. You know, whoever comes out ahead on this one is leaving here with the championship lead. No other cars there to spoil it for him. Unless Sam can get around Pete McIntyre and put a car between himself and Steve Pepper and, have a little bit of a breathing room there.
It's going to be tough for Sam. He got dropped right into that pack that's been battling this entire race.
Yeah, this track can pack up a little bit. You've got this long run down to the bus stop, so everybody will draft. And then once you get into the boot, it's not impossible, but it is a bit more difficult to make moves. So I think this is how our race is going to be, is small packs of drivers with similar pace staying very near each other.
Yeah, up until about this point in the race, it's been pretty close field. It's starting to break off into those groups now.
I've noticed Dan Shaw has gotten around Ollie Ettridge. We did not see that on camera, but Ollie was in second, Dan in third, and they have traded positions, as I'm seeing Matt Hansel put up the fastest lap of the race there with a 1:43.368. Matt opening up a currently 6.4 second gap over Dan Shaw. It's a big enough gap to maybe start to relax. You know, you're not fully relaxed, but you're starting to relax. But it's not quite a big enough gap where you are comfortable yet. You're still worried that those guys can close that, especially seeing that we have over 40 minutes left in this race. A 6.3 second gap is definitely closable in 40 minutes. So Matt probably feeling confident, but still having to push out front.
Yeah, and I've noticed Aaron Hugevin is in the pits now. I don't know if he had an incident or not. He's coming out now, so if he did, it was nothing big. I don't know if he's working on some strategy, trying to pit early or not.
That's what I was thinking. I think we're at the stage of the race here where you can pit early and get out of a pack of cars that is maybe slowing you down. So possibly not any sort of damage there for Marin, maybe just strategy. We saw it work at Spa for, I believe, Alex Murphy. He had an early pit, and he jumped a couple of cars, or at least, helped increase his gap. So could it work here at Watkins Glen? Only one way to find out, and that is to keep an eye on where Marin Hoogoven ends up after everyone else has pitted. Chris Forster still leading this group, doing a great job in that Lamborghini. Love the way that car sounds.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of Lamborghini drivers, and I'm not sure why. It's a great sounding car. It's not a bad car to drive.
David Ward coming into the pits we saw there. I'm thinking that may be strategy. David was in the back end of that top 5 to 10 grouping there, and so you can really get bottled up, and I bet David is just looking for some clean air. Stephen Hurd leading this, chasing this Claymont here, chasing this group down. This is the battle for, now it's the battle for 4th, I'm sorry. Was the battle for 5th, now it's the battle for 4th. Between Claymont, Stephen Hurd, Blake Tovey, Carl Hudson, Lucas Sipula, Stephen Maxwell, and I believe Clayton is also in that fight. Maybe a little bit further off than those other guys, but definitely still in touch. Isaac Mitchell as well. Oh, Steve Pepper spun out there with Sam. Oh, that's our leaders coming together. That is our gold class leaders coming together in that corner. Bronze. I'm sorry, you're right. Bronze class leaders coming together in that corner. Sam Stott and Steve Pepper. Man, I think we might have some words after the race on that one, huh? I do not want to go to those guys' pit boxes and actually take that back. I do want to go to those guys' pit boxes and see what is said between the two of them fighting for their respective championship. You think we'll have some Max Verstappen, Esteban Ocon pushing and shoving on the weight scales at the end of this one, Phil?
Probably not, but I'd love to see it.
Maybe we can get ourselves a Netflix documentary, an LOA Netflix series where we get to hear the behind the scenes of some of these drivers and what they have to say to each other post-race.
I'm going to see if I can, maybe we'll get a couple of the guys mic'd up for the next race.
Oh, that would be interesting, yes. A couple of mic'd up drivers. Get their opinion in the race while it's happening.
But it looks like Steve Pepper is out and Sam is still driving.
Steve possibly taking more damage than Sam got. Steve did spin off there and backed into the wall. Sam Stott must have been able to keep it on track and out of the wall, and that's going to be a championship difference right there. So I think next round Steve is going to be looking to make up some points.
Yeah, but Sam has got some work to do. He's got Chris Forster, Neil Todd, and Matt Pierce up there ahead of him. It'll be if he doesn't battle back and make some passes there on them, he might still drop down, or he might be in a new battle in the next race with one of them.
Yeah, could be. Here is our battle for 4th place. Claymont, Stephen Hurd, Blake Tovey, Carl Hudson, Lucas Sipula, and Stephen Maxwell in frame. These guys, not too much shuffling between them at the moment. Just following each other through here, collecting that slipstream down into the bus stop, coming out and going into the boot for the 14th time in this race. And just trying to stay with each other. Maybe some fuel saving going on here, right? Just settling into this race. We're not halfway through, saving some fuel. And we're going to see what happens during these pit stops that are coming.
Yeah, and we got Blake Tovey there blinking again. So hopefully he continues to maintain his connection and keeps this battle going.
Lucas using all of the track. But hey, if the track's there, use it, right? You paid for the whole track, use the whole track.
That's something most of us could work on. I know at times I don't quite use enough of it.
Looks like we've got a group here of 4th through 9th. Another much larger group there, 10th through 15th and 16th. Then another grouping, 18th back to 22nd. So a few groups of 5 or 6 in this race, battling for position and trying to get to the lead of that grouping. Again, Carl Hudson, silver championship leader, sticking with these guys in gold, sticking right on the back of Blake Tovey. That gap sort of growing and shrinking over the last few laps of this race.
Yeah, Carl is definitely put together some more consistency in his races from last season. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, Lucas looks up the inside of him there, and Carl fends it off well. Good defensive driving. There he goes all the way out to the edge of the track there. Carl using it up. Lucas trying to maybe get into Carl's head there with that move, with that little peek to the inside and then backing out of it, trying to force Carl into a mistake. Will he crack under pressure, or will he stay in the position that he's got?
I don't know, but I do know Carl, and I don't think in his head is where you want to be.
I can agree with that 100%. If there was any driver on this grid's head that I would not want to be in, it would be Carl Hudson's. Dude's got an imagination, that's for sure. This section right here, very fast, flowy, little S section. Full throttle, never lift, but lots of fun. I enjoy it. Flows really well. This bus stop is so fast, and you can get so close to that inside wall. I'd love to see a shot from behind one of these cars, or maybe a different camera angle where we can see how close they're getting to that wall on the inside. The guys who, Matt Hansel, Dan Shaw, Ali Ettridge, I'm willing to bet if we saw their onboard, if we saw a shot from the exterior that shows how close they're getting to that wall, it's going to be inches. It's not going to be much. To get the lap time through that bus stop, you've got to risk it on that inside wall.
But be careful. Don't get too close.
Oh, definitely don't lose concentration. It can bite you. But that is the fastest way, is to risk it. Stephen Hurd driving for the Wizards Rose Gold team. He's going to be chasing down Claymore still. Claymore got a okay gap here, right? Not a big gap, but he's definitely positioned himself clearly at the front of this little grouping that we're watching. But that can close up at any moment, right? One mistake and a couple tenths gap or so is gone.
Yeah, it's a good gap to make sure you're not getting dove into corners, but not enough to protect you from a mistake.
Right. Yeah, it's I think just enough that Stephen Hurd is not able to slipstream all the way up onto the back. He'll be able to slipstream closer, but not enough to make the dive. And so that means that Claymore can stay on his line, run the preferred racing line around this circuit, and continue to keep his lap times low, rather than battling for position and allowing the likes of Blake Tovey, Lucas, and Carl Lucas, by the way, has gotten around Carl. Didn't see where that happened at. But Lucas around Carl, and Carl dropping a second and a half or so, 2 seconds off the back of this little group. Hopefully doesn't find himself in no man's land anytime soon. He can get back up on the back of Lucas here.
Yeah, because he, just 2 cars behind him, he's got Isaac Mitchell pushing up to him. He's going to want to stay with that group and as far away as he can. Speaking of gaps, we have Matt Hansel just set a new fastest lap of 143.177 with a 6-second gap to Dan Shaw, who has a 5.5-second gap to Ollie Ettridge.
You know, it's interesting. The gap, as I mentioned earlier, was right below 6.5 seconds. So that gap has come down, only a couple of tenths, but it has come down. All while Matt Hansel is setting the fastest lap of the race. So I wonder if Dan, maybe not punching in the fastest laps of the race, but being consistent enough where he's bringing that gap down, maybe possibly only hundredths per lap at a time, right? But that adds up over several laps.
Yeah, consistency is definitely key. I have noticed the gap bounce up and down a few times, but it does look like he is slowly chipping away at it.
We saw a few drivers there going into the pits. So our pit strategy in this race, very varied in decision making here. I tend to leave my pit stops late when I'm doing these longer endurance races. I like to get as much out of the gas tank as I can, unless there's just somebody in front of me who's just really causing me a problem and I really need clean air. But otherwise, I try to save fuel, have a shorter pit stop, and leave it till the end. But a lot of these guys are electing to go earlier, and some right here, right past the halfway point, are electing to go in. Saw Matt Pearson a few seconds ago. But this group here staying together. We'll see who is the first to break and pit from your battle for your top 4.
I think if you're one of the guys in the middle or the back of a pack, you gotta hang in there and save fuel and try to make a move in the pits.
Yeah, that's also a good strategy. David Ward, who was one of our first to pit here, back into 17th place, but I believe that position will come down drastically once the rest of the field begins to pit. He is chasing Neil Todd. David probably going to want to get around Neil as fast as he can, right? Because he knows that he's pitted early and that all of these laps matter, that he needs to get his fastest laps in. He doesn't need to get stuck behind anybody. He's probably going to want to make that move as quickly as he can. This battle here between Steven and Blake closing up. See if Blake is close enough to attempt anything. Headed towards the heel of the boot here.
I think Steven might need to be a team player here and let him through so we can get that McDonald's sponsorship.
Yeah, maybe if we can get McDonald's on the podium, we can get a sponsorship. I like David's livery, like the purple car, pink wheels. It's flashy, and I'm here for it.
I'm not a big fan of the flashy, but I do like the purple. I am a fan of purple. I don't think I would have gone with the pink wheels, but it is not a bad looking car.
This is a close race here. Marin looking to the inside of Chris Forrester, and that's it, move done. Chris, I believe, sort of letting that one go, not fighting it too much. And that's a position gained back for Marin Hugavin there. We're going to have a look here with Isaac Mitchell and Clayton Buller No, not quite close enough there for Clayton.
And Isaac has now moved up to be one position behind Carl Hudson. See if Carl can maintain that gap and not get himself into a battle with the next closest silver driver.
Yeah, Carl probably wanting to continue his streak of leading that class in these races, but he's got a little bit of a championship gap, so one position here or there is probably not the end of the world for him at the moment. He's probably just wanting to bring this car home safe in this race, but he's got great pace running up there with the guys in the gold. The gap between them about 6 seconds. So Carl not under any immediate threat from Isaac Mitchell, but we still have 25 minutes of racing left to go.
Yeah, and up front we look like Matt and Dan are pushing a little farther away from Ollie. Third place is dropping a little bit behind on this race.
And that gap still stabilized at 6.2. So we're in that range there between 6 and 6.4 of a second gap. It's just holding. Matt not able to get away, but Dan not really able to close it down, at least not in any meaningful way. Gavin Kelly here with Chris Wright right on him. Blake Tovey still not able to get around Stephen Hurd. He's been there. He's been right behind him. He's been haunting him. He's been making little looks to the inside. Does he make a look here? No. He stays in formation. Blake probably feeling like he has the pace, just not able to get the move done.
Yeah, you never know. He may just be trying to get in his head with some looks inside. Maybe he's happy there.
James Renwick making a mistake there, allowing Marin Hugoven through. He did a good job to keep the car under control. I know that there's a bump when you go off course there that can send you flying. So good job on James for keeping his car under control, and good job for Marin keeping it cool and picking up the positions where they're left behind. More cars into the pits here. This is Clayton Bowler. I didn't see who the other car was there following him in. We're about to start seeing that pit stop shuffle really, really pick up. Blame my privateer in a Mercedes. Get that man a team, guys. Get that man a team.
Yeah, he's got good pace. He's been in some good battles. Did pretty well, minus a couple incidents in the Monza monsoon we had.
Yeah, here we go. David Ward coming out of the pits ahead of Clayton Bowler. I believe that they were very close on track before David pitted, so doesn't seem like too much time was really lost or gained there for David in that pit cycle. I believe when he pitted, he was just behind Carl, but still in front of Clayton, so he's come back out seemingly where he went in from. Dan Shaw has pitted and come out behind these, or is this lapped cars here? I believe it's lapped cars. That's what we're seeing. Dan Shaw getting maybe a little bit held up. Hopefully not too much. Oh, that was a very close move there to the back of the cool camel car of Matt Pierce. That was a risky move there from Dan. He knows what he's doing though, so maybe didn't seem so risky from his cockpit, but it looked very close for me here on the broadcast.
Yeah, but I think at this point in the race, he's got to push if he wants to close that gap. I don't think he can afford to give up any time.
No, and even with that little bit of traffic there, he's still in that same low 6-second gap that he was in before. But I guess Matt Hansel probably also had to come through these same cars, as well, right? So the traffic's more or less the same for everybody up front. I wonder if Blake Tovey's playing the long game here, because he's definitely got the pace to stay right up on the back of Stephen Hurd. He doesn't look like he's really pushing the issue. As we catch up with our leader here, Matt Hansel.
Just set another fastest lap.
Another 43.103. Dude's just not slowing down, is he?
Yeah, great race from him so far. He's started out front, driven clean, and he just keeps pushing.
A close battle here for 26th. Matt Pierce looking to get around Pete McIntyre. He's got a run on him. Let's see if he makes a move on the inside. Nope. He stays behind, stays in formation, going through the bus stop safely. Smart move, honestly.
Yeah, that is a tough spot to go too wide through.
It's getting darker and darker as this race goes on. I enjoy night races personally. I don't know how you feel about them.
I've got to be in the mood. I don't dislike them, and I can really enjoy a good night race. It depends on the track. I'm not trying to conquer the mountain at Bathurst in the dark, though. Watkins Glen, could enjoy a nice Watkins Glen night race.
Few more cars in the pits there. Neil Todd pits, probably just for his pit stop. Didn't see any damage or anything for Neil. There he is, pit exit. Back to this battle. As I was saying earlier about Blake, I think Blake is probably playing long game here and looking to maybe make a move in the pits. Because like I said, he wasn't really putting from what I could tell, it wasn't really putting maximum pressure on Stephen Hurd.
Yeah, just sending a look here and there, seeing if maybe he can cause a mistake and hanging back and trying to save a little fuel.
Neil Todd joining this battle here with Pete McIntyre and Matt Pierce. These guys battling for for bronze, I'm sorry. The second time I made that mistake.
Well, they're all gold drivers in our hearts. And technically speaking, they are all battling gold battles still.
You're right. Everybody does earn gold championship points, so I guess I'm not technically wrong, right? Few more guys in the pits there. Really interested to see where everybody sorts out once all of the pit stops are made. Could have some sprint finishes, right? Coming out the pits, and you only got a few laps to get it done. Martinez on the back of Stephen Greening.
Is that we got our leaders pitting now, and it looks like Dan Shaw has the fastest lap now.
Dan Shaw's got the fastest lap, that's correct, and our top three, all three of them in the pit together, so no variation of strategy there between the top three, top four, top five. Yeah, correct. So these guys are just racing heads up. Top six now. Carl Hudson in the pits.
It's like Isaac Mitchell, the only one in that top 10 so far choosing to stay out with now all the way through 9th in the pits. Isaac Mitchell has taken the lead.
That makes Isaac Mitchell the only driver other than Matt Hansel so far in this race to lead a lap. Matt Hansel sort of dominating the first part of this race. As we click right up to 15 minutes left to go in this race. This is going to be it. This is going to be the sprint. 15-minute sprint to the finish line. So maybe my prediction there with Blake Tovey a little inaccurate. Well, he did get around Stephen Hurd, but looks like Lucas has got in front of him. So got one but lost another from what I can tell.
Yeah, it looks that way. I didn't catch if well, no, they all pitted, right?
They all pitted down to 9th place, I believe, at the same time, right? So, but maybe Blake and Lucas, saving a little bit of fuel, had a slightly shorter pit stop and were able to reach that pit exit line in front of Stephen Hurd, whereas they were behind him going into the pits.
Yeah, and the
Claymore as well. Claymore was leading that group, wasn't he? Claymore, Stephen Hurd, Blake Tovey, and then Lucas. So we've completely inverted the group from 5th place to 8th place.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe Claymont leading that group burned a little extra fuel, because I know the Porsche is very good at fuel saving. So it's not surprising to see Lucas come out up there, especially sitting behind 2 other drivers closely the entire race. But it is interesting to see Claymont drop down to 8th.
Yeah, whatever the strategy there definitely worked out for Lucas, as he is our championship leader in gold right now. And so with him being back in 8th place was looking at ceding some points to the likes of Ollie Ettridge, Matt Hansel. So getting back up there, he's still losing some points to those guys, right? But not nearly as many. He's jumped a lot of the guys that were between him and his direct competitors. At least his championship competitors. Obviously, in any one of these races in isolation, all of these guys at the front are competitors, right? They're all fast. They're all capable of winning races. But in the championship, there's definitely a few guys who are starting to make their mark on the front of that championship standing.
Yeah, and at the standings here, looks like Joshua Martinez and Danny Chan, who fell back to the back of the pack at the beginning of the race, are now pushing somewhere up to the middle. So not a bad run from them. Getting back into the race, probably not the result they were looking for, but not a bad drive still.
Yeah, Martinez up in 17th at the moment. That is at least a points-paying position where, at one point himself and Danny were 35th, 36th, definitely not a points-paying position. So even scrounging together a few points is good. Danny only one position outside of those points, so I'm sure he'll be pushing to try and get that 1 point, or maybe even try and go up another position and collect 2 or 3 points. Whatever he can get, I'm sure Danny will be going for it.
Yeah, we got the bronze group still in a pretty close pack there.
A few more drivers out of this race. I didn't see what caused Sebastian or Rick Barrow to exit, but it looks like they are out of this race. So better luck for those guys in the next round. Stephen Hurd now on the rear of Blake Tovey, just as Blake was on the rear of Stephen Hurd in the first part of this race.
Yeah, it looks like staying pretty consistent. Gap about the same. Good battle, but doesn't seem like anybody's making any moves or really attempting to make moves yet. Maybe they're saving it for the last couple laps. Yeah, the gap up front between Matt and Dan has dropped to just 4 seconds from 6 earlier.
Oh, that's true. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, 6-second gap, fallen by 2 seconds down to 4. I wonder, did that happen during the pits? Did we miss something? Maybe we can find out at some point, or maybe just Matt, realizing that he's got this race under control, and maybe he took a conservative amount of fuel at the pit stop to make sure that he doesn't run the risk of running out at the end of this race, right, or sputtering at the line if he finds himself in a close battle with Dan Shaw at the end of this race.
Yeah, not a bad strategy to be a little cautious when you've got the time to spare.
Here's Martinez looking up the inside of Matt Pierce. That is for position. Martinez coming into the pits, falling back outside of those points paying positions, but he's going to be looking to get back into the points with Neil Todd in front of him. See how he can get around Neil and get himself some points here. I've noticed Clayton Buller making some moves in the standings. Haven't seen it on video, but Clayton was behind both David Ward and Carl Hudson, and he's up those 2 positions. We didn't see Carl pit. Maybe Carl pitted and came out behind Clayton, or maybe there was a move on track. Not 100% sure. Martinez making that move around Neil Todd that I was just talking about earlier. He's got his sights set on Pete McIntyre now, and Pete will be that 1 point in the championship for this race. So that's a point that Martinez wants. He is second in the championship, and Lucas obviously going to be gaining lots of points up there in 4th place, growing that gap. Ali Etridge possibly closing from 3rd place. So Martinez is going to want that point. Here we are with Carl Hudson, with David Ward right behind him. And Clayton not far in front of him. Still in touch if Carl can get on the back of Clayton and get some slipstream there. Russell and Neal having a battle there. Good driving, plenty of room given, respectful racing. Oh, who's that in the back going around? That Matt Pierce? Is that who that was? Do we see anybody dropping down the order? Blake Tovey's gotten around Lucas. I think we just caught the end of that move, but Blake gotten himself up into 4th. David Ward putting pressure on Carl Hudson. You know, I've got some dirt I can share on these 2 right here, David and Carl, if you're interested.
Oh, you know I am. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so Carl not happy with David Ward, and let me tell you why. David Ward running that number 69. 69, for those who don't know, is the number of the Kentucky kid, Nicky Hayden, who is Carl Hudson's favorite motorcycle rider. He's a MotoGP champion. He's from the States, Carl's favorite. Carl wanted to run the number 69 when we joined this league, and David already had it. And Carl swore that if he saw that number 69 on track, that he would not let the 69 finish in front of him in any race. So Carl's got it out for David. David better watch out.
Let's hope he at least keeps it clean.
All right, I'll admit I embellished that a lot. Carl actually does not have any sort of ill will towards Dave. He did want to run the number 69, and that is Nicky Hayden's number, and all of that is true. The Kentucky kid, Carl is a big fan of Nicky Hayden, but I just was trying to create a little drama for the broadcast here. There's actually no issues between David and Carl. So if you guys are listening, I was just picking on the 2 of you.
No, it's too late. I also don't like David now. I want Carl to have the number.
Maybe we can get a gentleman's agreement at the end of the season. Whoever is higher in the championship standings gets to run the number 69 next year. Maybe we can get the guys to agree to that.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll start a conversation up in the Discord.
Yeah, here they are on the screen again. Carl still holding out. As I said, not letting that number 69 finish in front of him.
You know, as much fun as it is to talk about that number 69, I think the real number we want is the number that Joshua Martinez has on his car, that number 1.
Yeah, well, from the looks of things, I believe Matt Hansel is fighting for the number 1, maintaining that roughly 4-second gap to Dan Shaw. That is stabilized. And we've got a battle here. David Ward looking up the inside of Carl. Oh, a small bump. Hey, Rubbin's racing. I like it. Going into the S's. Carl leaving some room there. David having to tuck behind, but he's going to have the slipstream, and he's got the power of that Mustang.
Yeah, Carl battling hard, trying to keep him behind. I don't know that he's going to be able to hold on to this position, though.
Yeah, this is getting good. David definitely putting the pressure on. Russell Bright also putting the pressure on Pete McIntyre here. Also a Mustang putting the pressure on a McLaren. We've got 2 Mustang-McLaren battles going on as we're back to Carl and David. Really close between those guys, but fair so far as I can see. I think David's positioned himself good here. He's got the inside. Let's see what Carl does about it. He's going to have to relinquish that.
Well, he fought hard, held them off for a while. Good driving on both of them. And notice while we were watching that battle, got Clement up above Lucas now.
So Lucas falling another position. That's going to be valuable points that he's not going to want to have given up. Lucas out. What? Lucas out. Why am I seeing that on the... Something's happened to Lucas. I wonder if he's disconnected. Did he have a crash? I'm not sure. Carl going back for that position on David. I think he's got it.
A little bit of contact, but this is just good hard racing. This
has been great racing. David, he's got the inside going down the straight here. Are these two crazy enough to go side by side through the bus stop? Let's see. Carl having to take his nose out of that one.
It's smart. He's leading the silver championship. He's leading the silvers in this race right now. Even though it's a good battle, it is not worth risking those points.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that was smart for Carl to let that one go. But he's got the pace, obviously, to stay with David, so this fight might not be over yet.
I think Carl could do with a little bit of squeezing in some spots. He's given David a little bit too much space. Definitely give the space in the corners, but he could be shaving some track off and making it a little tougher for him.
Yeah, there's some tactics that can be played there. Tactics that have to be learned and practiced, though. Not something that you just know how to do, right? But we practice that as a team. We have a good sort of pre-race before every event where we just get out there and duke it out and have some fun. James Renwick looking to make a move on Chris Forrester, but not able to get it done. Love to turn the volume up on that Lamborghini and just listen to it for a little while.
You know, you put in a little overtime at work, you could buy one.
I don't think it actually matters how much overtime I put in at work. I don't think I'm buying one.
Probably not, but you could probably afford a nice soundtrack, though. You can go to sleep listening to it.
I'm sure that's for free on YouTube. I bet if I went on YouTube right now and searched 10 hours of Lamborghini, that there's probably a 10 to 12 hour long video of Lamborghini sounds. I could probably download it into my sound machine that I have next to my bed.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. You could probably find that, but I would stick to the thunderstorms or waves. I don't know how well I would sleep listening to 10 hours of engine sounds.
Chris, James, I'm not going to overtake.
This battle here was great. Stephen Greening getting around the Lamborghini there. Yeah, as somebody born and raised in the south of the United States, I love the sound of thunderstorms. It is extremely comforting for me. Even if there's like storms in the middle of the day, I will grab my work computer and go outside and sit under a cover and work on my laptop out, listening to the storm. And the more thunder and the more lightning, the better, in my opinion.
I agree.
As we catch up to our leader here, sorry to cut you off there, Phil, but we are finishing this race, and we are watching our leader, Matt Hansel. Believe this is the white flag lap, so we should be watching him come home to win his first race, his first victory in Limit of Adhesion in any of the leagues. Don't believe he's won any races in any of the other series that Limit of Adhesion hosts. So this is his first league victory here, and he's done it with a 4.5 second gap in the end. Pole position. At the moment, last I saw fastest lap, I saw him get the fastest lap back from Dan Shaw. Led every lap except one, the one during the pit stop. I mean, do you really count that? For the stats, I think it counts, but, in our hearts, I don't think it counts. Matt Hansel leading every lap and winning this race. Congratulations to Matt there.
Big congratulations to Matt on the first win, and I believe his first podium in LOA.
So he just goes straight to the top of the podium then, doesn't even bother with those other steps.
That was a Blake lobby there.
I mean, if you've got the pace, win the race.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, Sully.
I think he's happy with that car change from the Audi to the Mercedes. It seemed to have worked out for him.
Yeah, and clearly comfortable on the new tires as well.
Driver got the win today, guys. He deserves it.
Yeah, Martinez making
Shout out to Patrick. I love
a little joke about Matt being accused of being a 10K driver. I think the evidence is not in Matt's favor right now. I think the evidence is showing that Matt Hansel probably is actually a 10K driver. Maybe we'll see a petition to have him banned from the league soon. You never know what could happen.
I'll sign it.
Nice play. I didn't run out of fuel in a pit lane, so that's where it was.
I didn't see it happen on screen, but looks like Isaac Mitchell was able to get around Carl Hudson. So Carl Hudson not winning the silver race there, but coming in a very respectable and very hard fought against the likes of David Ward and Clayton Bowler and Isaac as well. A very hard fought second place.
Yeah, and I noticed Blake was the big winner of that battle. We watched most of the race. It looks like he came in ahead of that group.
Yeah, see, that's what happens whenever you're a professional athlete on the diet of McDonald's. You get fourth place in Limit of Adhesion. Here's our race results. Matt Hansel, Dan Shaw, Ali Ettridge, as we were just joking about, Blake Tovey in the McDonald's car, Claymore, Goday rounding out your top five. Isaac Mitchell winning for silver with Carl Hudson in second. And Pete McIntyre is our bronze winner with Neil Todd and Chris Forrester rounding out your bronze podium. I enjoyed that race. That was a good one. We didn't get the rain that was forecasted. It was low chance anyways, so I think that's not totally unexpected. But it was a good, dry, cool weather. race, and it looked like it gave everybody the confidence to push. It seemed like everybody was racing hard in that race, and I like that. I'd much rather see everybody at their best racing their hardest.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic race. A lot of good battles throughout the entire race. Everything looked pretty good, pretty clean. It was a nice change from the pouring rain we had in the last race. It was good to see everyone get out there and push it.
Yep. Yeah, here is our championship standings update. Looks like no movement in our top three. Lucas Cipula, Joshua Martinez, and Ali Edridge still in the top three. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Ali moving up into the top three. Marin Hukoven was initially in the top three, so we do have a change in the top three with Ali Edridge. Still some close battles further down the field. Charles Vasquez up 4 positions, Peter McIntyre up a position, Sam Stott down 6 positions in the gold championship, or the overall championship we should call it. Carl Hudson still leading silver with his teammate Danny Chan in second place, but look at the gap, 30 points gap. Nearly as many points as Danny Chan has. It's the gap to Carl Hudson.
Yeah, Carl has been very consistent and he's pushed hard, and he's doing pretty well this season, so congratulations to Carl.
Peter McIntyre here. As I mentioned earlier, we had Sam Stott and Steve Pepper going into this race tied for the lead of this championship, and coming out of this race we've got a different driver altogether up front. Congratulations to Peter McIntyre for driving a good race there and now putting himself squarely in the lead of your bronze championship. Here's our team championship now with actual points awarded. Wizards Fire Ruby leading the team championship with Revolution E-Racing and Risky Racing rounding out your top 3. A few of the other Wizards teams also in the top 5. We've got a No Problema, Formulama, and Nebulama, all one after the other there. That's a kind of intra-stable battle happening there between the Llama teams. Another Revolution team, a Cool Camel team, and the rest are fighting for the lower positions in the championship. I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Enjoy this track, and we're looking forward to Interlagos next. The Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. Maybe I'll see you there, Phil. We do have sort of rotating broadcasters, but you never know who you're going to get, like a box of chocolates.
Absolutely, and thank you everybody for watching. It was great to be here, and great to commentate with you again, Josh.
Yep. All right. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you in the next one.